So when I started playing the clarinet around 10 years old, my dad sat me down and had me watch the Benny Goodman Story, this 1950s movie with Steve Allen. And I liked the jazz in that movie, but I really loved this really cut down version of the rondo from the Mozart Clarinet Concerto, and that was sort of one of my earliest inspirations. And we didn't go out and get the music right away. I just tried to play it just from the way that it sounded by ear. And you know, I had my 10-year-old version of that, and that was really kind of what got me going. And I knew that I wanted to be a clarinetist at that point. And I had a teacher at the time who was just adamant that I shouldn't play this piece, you know. And of course I was. It was like the one thing that was keeping me going at the time. And later I found another teacher who was able to just find this balance between the things that I wanted to do and the things that, you know, that inspired me, and the things that he really believed and knew that I should do as well. And I think as time has gone on, I've always sort of felt that way with my own students as well. And I sort of think it ties into this idea that the music always is served by other things. So the technique, for example, you don't learn right away necessarily how important technique is, but when you have a teacher that knows what to teach, the technique becomes something that doesn't exist for its own purpose, or sometimes it does. I mean, Mozart and Weber loved virtuosity, but the technique serves the music. So when I'm thinking about what equipment I want to play, to me the idea is for the equipment to be kind of neutral in the partnership, to be something that doesn't get in the way. And the best way that it can do that is by making clarinet playing easier. An instrument like the présence, with a beautiful even scale and excellent intonation and just great response just throughout the entire range of the clarinet, it makes it easier. The clarinet, you might argue that, you know, the clarinetist is the person who makes the sound, and I think that's a good argument. But they need to be able to do that easily. They need to be able to lend their voice to the clarinet without the equipment interfering. So that's why I really think that SELMER présence clarinets are excellent equipment, because they don't get in the way. They have they want to make a beautiful sound, but they have great response, and they have this wonderful even scale up and down the range of the horn. They're fairly free-blowing, which I think is another important thing. I don't really want to have a ton of resistance to have to push against. I like to sort of think about creating resistance more on the inside of the mouth, and finding sort of this equilibrium between what the reed does in pushing against you and what you do to push back against the reed, rather than having a clarinet that does that, that creates this artificial resistance for you.